Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining the pre-program information webinar. We're just we're
No,
just waiting for uh, uh, all the people to join in. So give us just a couple of minutes, and then we'll get started. Thanks, everyone.
Ayush actually, so only two people additionally joined. That's it.
There are some people joining in, Professor, so they'll keep trickling in. That we're just waiting for 2 minutes.
All right. Okay.
Uh, Festus, I think I just got a message from the team. They are in contact with some of the participants. They are saying that they'll be joining in 5 minutes, but we should get started at least, right? In the interest of time. Um, so,
Wait, hold on. See, with just four people around,
yeah,
uh, the further all those who join in will miss out on important part of the thing in the beginning
sure.
itself.
So let's just
That
wait
may-
for a
Yeah.
couple of more minutes then.
Yes, I think that would be better.
Sure, Professor. Thank you.
So the people who are there, you have to uh, tell them that we are sorry that we are going to start a little late, but it makes more sense to have others along.
Yes. Yes. Really sorry, everyone who's joined on time. We're just waiting for few of your fellow potential classmates. So uh, just mind us for a couple of more minutes. Professor,
right.
I would think yes, we have 8 people in. There will be a couple more joining. So I think now we can start. We have majority of the people in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, let's do that. Let's do that.
Right.
You know, if I have to go by what you said, 43 people had signed in for this, and eventually just 9 of them have turned up. There is a commitment issue, and for the course, that is one of the biggest issues that generally we face. If there is no commitment on the timing that you have committed, then learning doesn't happen. And so
Yes.
we're good with those who are serious about this. Okay. Yeah. So that's
Yes.
the important part of
That
it.
yes, the people
Welcome.
who have at least joined, they are the serious ones. Yes.
Yes, correct. So, welcome to all the attendees here: Amit, Bhargavi, Dominic, Kamlesh, Rashmi, Sachin, Sai, Srinivas, Samir, Suresh. All right. So, this is just an overview of a program, the Chief Product Officer program, for which you have expressed your interest. And let me start off by um, uh, this is the first week just after we have finished the Chief Product Officer 1 program, and we just had the campus immersion last week, and the feedback has been stupendous, to use that word in all its respect. And we our product has been validated by the first batch. If you guys want to speak, then they're already started speaking on the LinkedIn, and so you may want to get deeper into, or maybe get in touch in the conversation. So all of that is a real thing out there in the market. So given the background of this success of the first program, we are even more excited about the CPO program, which is now getting into its batch 3. Batch 2 and batch 3, more or less, products which are similar, because we just extending the Kellogg's partnership, further deep down into batch 3. We started off with batch 2, and now we are repeating that with batch 3. So with that, I welcome all of you. This brief background about which we are happy about. So this is the Chief Product Officer Program 3, a quick webinar on some information around it, and we would like to keep it open for Q&A at the end, if there are any questions left after we have gone through this. So some program details about IIM, about the speakers, what's the Kellogg advantage, what are the different pedagogies, what do we do in the Capstone project, simulations, case studies, about the program directors. Both of us are here. I take this opportunity to welcome Professor Srijesh also along with me in this team here. Professor Srijesh is there. And then we'll have some whenever you are ready with that, something about our partner. And so the idea there is to give you that leading edge into your journey in the product domain, and which, as you would discover soon, how big is that world getting into, and this will be your initiation into that world with some more arms and ammunition with which you can conquer that. Next slide, please. So a quick background test: 2000 plus high paying jobs currently open on LinkedIn. I guess it may be a very short number. I mean, in different ways, there are a lot of CXO positions, which essentially are product officer positions, CPO positions. So this number could be much larger than that, but this is what analytics statistics throws up. But to me, the world is much, much bigger than these 2000 plus high paying jobs. Why they're high paying is because, you as a CPO, you are responsible for the entire journey of the product, and hence the responsibility matches the kind of salaries, expectations, and opportunities in the world. The growth rate has been also stupendous, where else, except probably AI related jobs. This also scores into one of the fast growing opportunities in the business space. We plan to start it next month. The duration will be about 12 months, about an year of the program, and with about 120 to 130 hours plus, and that gets you the executive alumni status of IIM Kozhikode. The fee upfront, I would have loved to mention the fee at the end of it, but that's what it is. It's just a place value there. Let us go to the next slide. That's a little bit about me. 1989, I was initiated post MBA into the corporate world. I've worked with public sector, steel authority. I've worked with the civil services. I've worked with multinational corporations as a CEO. After taking my PhD degree from IIM Ahmedabad, for a brief period, I was a vice chancellor, dean, director general at different management institutions and universities. For 6 years, I've dabbled with startups as well in B2B and B2C space. So that's the entire bouquet of the experiences, the product connected experiences that I bring on table. So I've been on both sides of the physical products as well as services. So it's easier for us to draw from experiences. Next slide, please. And there you go. Professor Srijesh may like to speak about himself a little bit. Professor Srijesh.
Yeah. So currently, myself working as an associate professor in the area of marketing. And I am actually a serious researcher. I typically do a lot of research in the field of product and brand management. And also I teach courses related to products. Specifically, I teach a course on product analytics. Also a product management course at the postgraduate level. And I have electives at PhD level as well in the area of product and brand management. That's what my experience with respect to product and brand management.
Great. It's very difficult to speak very well about oneself, but let me add on to what Professor Srijesh says. There is a legend here at IIM Kozhikode that there is a bell right at the central core of the building, which goes off. It bells when there are substantial achievements to be counted for the community, especially the research paper publishing of our professors. And a number of times that bell has gone off for Professor Srijesh. So that's a little bit more about him and his research capabilities. So there you go. Next slide, please. So something about the institution, the advantage of being with an institution which counts for itself AMBA and EQUIS certification, accreditation, and we are already in the list of AACIS. So that triple accreditation is what we can claim. We also are number 3 in the NIRF, National Institute of National Framework, which is kind of organized and managed by the Department of Education of the Government of India. So that's as believable as it can be, and we are continuously there for the second year running in the third rank, just behind IIM Ahmedabad and IIM Bangalore. So there you go, that the value of the association has gone up much more. In Financial Times open enrollment rankings, we are ranked 4 in India and ranked 7070 globally. and World University QS rankings, which is one of the most prestigious rankings. We are there in the band of 151 to 200. That shows not just, these accreditations is not just about a point phenomenon. It is the process, it is the consistency, and it is the commitment for which an institution stands for. And that's where we are. So the value of association with IIM Kozhikode beating nothing else. And then along with it, clubbed along with it is the advantage of having two certificate courses from Kellogg. So there you will get a brush with international cohort, a networking opportunity with global peers, and getting a global perspective on some of the hottest topics around which the world of skills is getting built. So that's the association with Kellogg's. That is the additional advantage that you get out of this course. The highlights over there, as I said, the executive education alumni status. So, I clearly feel, remember one of the students, in the batch one, which just went through a campus immersion and certification. One of them was asking how often they can come later on and visit the institution. And Pat was our reply that it is your institution now. You decide because you are the executive alumni. So you have a certain, fraction of ownership in what the institution stands for. So that's what it means. Networking opportunities with a very diverse peer group. So in the all the two batches, we have people from across industries, both product and services, both those people who have handled CPO responsibilities and those who are preparing themselves for it. We got master classes from existing chief product officers, fireside chats, with experts in their field. We got capstone projects that are guided by us, and these projects happen in groups, and they take you through that entire journey of how to conceive a product, how to design it, MVP, and launch, and the entire business around products. So at least, you will get a brush to what are the things that you must not miss when you create this journey for yourself. And we also have seen in the first experience of CPO1 that there's a lot of commitment on the projects that people have done, and almost all of them seem to be, at least one or two people in each group were interested in, after having done so much of hard work, they were now probably getting interested on leaving their current responsibilities and getting into this field, which has the prerogative of getting charted by 6-7 more other members of the group. So that is the kind of depth we go into in capstone projects. There'll be 2 online certificate courses from Kellogg's that have, it. In the campus, we extend the usage of experiential learning through 2 simulation. You have to manage a product business from end to end. And another one is when we talk about the world of change happening around you, and as leaders, what is your responsibility towards preparing an organization for future amidst the changes happening around them. Annual subscription to Wall Street journals is like, an icing on the cake on some of the items. I am not going to press very hard on that. But for sure, this is going to have a greater input from the real industry practitioners. Will concurrent experience will be brought in the class on certain topics where we believe that the industry view is much more important than an academic researcher's view. So that's how, in totality, some of the highlights of the program are. Yes, please. Next slide. So you'd wonder then who is this program for? And if I have to draw from the previous batches, they have cut across existing product leadership or people who are preparing themselves or having to work on product related issues. um, we give you a complete business, a holistic view of all the issues around product business, and with the cutting edge practices which people use for managing product business, the prioritization, the communication, the project management, and the strategies that you build around them. um, it could also be for the evolving new CPOs who are already in their saddle, and they're looking to polish on their strategic outlook of how to build customer-centric products and how to run those businesses. Uh, then there could be business founders and consultants who could join us. Essentially, if you look at it, anything that is connected from the cradle of how how do you design your products or services to how do you run a business around it and manage teams and leadership around it. Wherever you are fitting in this CPO will give you an opportunity to extend your boundaries, both backwards and forwards, wherever those skills have been missing. So it completely rounds you up for a product based business. The eligibility is you should be a 15-year degree or diploma holder from a recognized university. It could be an international university as well. And then you have to have a minimum of 8 years of experience as on the program start date. So at this point, if it is 7 years, 11 months, don't worry, by December 29th, 2024. And even if you, let's say, if you're missing out by a month here or a month there, uh, um, we will take specific approval if we see a lot of value in including that person in the cohort, because the idea there being that we need to bring diversity in the class to be able to not miss on any learning or any experiences that a candidate can bring into the class. Okay. So we got 17 attendees now. Welcome to all those who joined us a little late. I hope you have not missed anything, but if you have a question at hand, I'll be glad to answer at the end of it. So next slide, please. So the key takeaways from the program and the flow of the program is that it builds a strategic growth mindset. It helps you conceptualize innovative product strategies. There's a develop of product finance and performance controls issues around products that we do key sessions on. And the key life cycle management. No product journey is complete without significant contributions from across functions in a business context. So cross-functional collaboration and portfolio efficiency across different product lines that you have will have sessions around that. We'll get deeper into the product analytics, which borrow a lot from digital advancements around you, specifically when you want to use those kind of intelligence for marketing and positioning. And Professor Srijesh is a master in that. Um, uh, a culture of innovation and product growth around which you may have questions, and some of these stories are not complete without understanding the strategy and vision behind it, or understanding how do you deal with people around it. So how do you build that culture with people on an exciting product journey. Delves deeper into leadership skills, influencing stakeholders, and the change management part of it, and a lot of experiential learning through simulations we've built around for ensuring that you take away these key. Uh, well, this is just one part of the promise. That is half the story. The other half of the story will be your willingness, your participation, your readiness, your preparedness take away to take these takeaways. Okay, so we hope that the cohort, as the other two cohorts of CPO 1 and CPO 2, will have your interest and deep desire and hunger to learn about these things. Okay, all right, go ahead. So these are, all these promises and takeaways are the central arguments around which all the program is structured. It is divided across modules. We start with the module of the top end, the helicopter view of strategy and vision and new product thinking, growth mindset, design thinking, those issues which are in vogue. And then we start getting deeper into finance, performance control, product strategy, life cycle management, prototyping, agile. Then we get further deep into advanced product operations issues around lean product, agility, synergy, product portfolio management. We get deeper into the marketing and analytics aspect of this. Next slide, please. So the LinkedIn, I just saw a question on the chat window whether LinkedIn testimonials and batch 1 to cohort list be shared. Amit, there are issues around people's willingness to be quoted in public platforms, but all those who are willing to hear around and present themselves to the world of having done this, you in the coming days, they already started popping in, and since yesterday I've seen 4 such testimonials of people who are there. You can get in touch with them on LinkedIn. You can introduce yourself as a person who is interested in this cohort. So there'll be a lot of public information available around them. We cannot share it from our side for issues around, the taking approvals. That will be something that you can easily do it on the LinkedIn platform these days. These are very well accepted global platforms where you can extend or get in touch with and develop a friendship and talk one-on-one. Okay, I am actually opening ourselves to, not selecting a few and letting them know about them, because they might give you a very, very good picture. But I'm absolutely depending on your openness and the internet's openness to be able to find out these. And there are sufficient number out there. You need to search on CPO IIM Kozhikode, and you will get a lot of references where you can get in touch with them. Okay, Amit? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, please. Next. Yeah. So then the third pillar, the module and pillar structure. Basically, it would make more sense as you go deeper into trying to understand some of the other aspects which you have never touched upon. Maybe you have not been in the product business and you're preparing yourself for that. Maybe you were in the process businesses. Maybe you were in the services businesses, where some of these things may not may not have would have encountered at your workplaces. Since it's a diverse cohort, we will touch across platforms which connect with products and with services as well. And the common issues are ones where we will spend more time, because this program is first not to go into granular details of some of the specific products or some of the specific services, but it gives you the CXO perspective. And CXO perspective is not as much about depth as much as it is about breadth and being able to manage the business in its entirety. So we'll talk about product innovation, growth, product leadership. How do you manage across functional teams, the issues around communication, leadership, change management, ethics, conflict. All those things will be touched upon in the concluding module. Alongside, there'll be 2 modules, the Kellogg's modules, that get deeper into data and depth around data visioning, frameworks, analytics, visualization, automation, and all of that. And the second module, second course in the Kellogg's bouquet is about AI and the connect of everything that you do around products with the world of artificial intelligence. So customer experience management or operations management, business support functions. It will go into a few select industries as well, where there is a huge impact of these issues around artificial intelligence. And so you will, by the end of this, you'll get a very fair idea about what are the chances that I could also use AI in various products and processes that I deal with. And to give you a glimpse of that, we have had this and other Kellogg's modules being run through in different programs, and the responses that we have got is also fabulous and fantastic. So I'm sure Kellogg's also knows its business as well as we do, and hence we depend on the tools and the courses capability to get your attention and do well at that. Next slide, please. A capstone project, as I said a little bit about it. So we will get you into groups, and within groups, you have to choose a project around which you use all the learnings of the CPO, different modules, and different things that are relevant to your product. The product could be a physical product or a service product, or today, as we call it, there's a world of digital products that you can get into. You have to, within the group, you have to divide the work in a way that you are able to experience and put into practice all the learnings, all the modules that you've gone through. So it prepares you to map out an entire journey within groups so that you don't miss out when you're in the real world. You can't say that, if you had been serious in the capstone project, you've done, at least got a brush with end to end from cradle to grave. And in fact, these days we don't even talk about grave. We talk about from cradle to a new cradle, where the products get redefined and repositioned and relaunched. I just saw a little, yesterday, Karan Arjun is getting relaunched. So if you look at this, is an era of relaunches. No product ever dies; it just gets better. So if you can map out this entire journey, Capstone project is the place where you would be doing the work seriously. The business simulations, which is an extremely exciting and addictive tool, which is about experiential learning. That the world of learning, and enough research is available, which talks about that when you do it yourself, you remember more of it. And when you do it yourself and learn through failures or successes, the things last longer. And such is the hunger for that. We have not been able to close the simulation products that we have worked on in the campus immersion of CPO one. Even with the people who had struggled with the business to run the business, the reality of the world gets into you, deep seated into you through these simulations. So rest assured, we know the power of these tools to get you deeper into practicing and taking decisions and being responsible for those decisions yourself. There'll be two simulations. One will be about running the entire business with a portfolio of products, and your capability to launch newer products. We will understand cross-functional collaboration, financial impact of decision making, customer centricity, positioning, R&D, and you have to take decisions across almost all business level, high level decisions from the CXO perspective. The change simulation will put you in a condition where an organization is transforming itself from one way of doing things into another. And these change journeys are not easy. They are full of challenges. There's a lot of resistance that you encounter. There's a lot of believability that you have to create, the organization readiness, the conversion of key people onto your side, deal with the others sternly, who do not, feel themselves very comfortable in this changing world. So you will be put in that situation to take decisions across a elongated period of time within which you have to achieve certain yardsticks. So it more of it is the journey that you go through is what is going to be very appealing and exciting for you, results notwithstanding. Next. So the IIM pedagogy relies heavily on case studies. The case studies are not the AI generated ones. They are taken from the real world, and they most of them are published across an Harvard Business Case or IIM Case Center or our own IIM Case Gyanoday Case Center. So there'll be those all are reflecting the real world situations of failures and successes from where we'll borrow. So why I need to speak half a minute more on the case study is that we don't teach you the theory. We teach you how to decipher complexity and unstructured nature of the situations to understand and then draw from others' experiences of how they have dealt with. In the process, the theory helps you understand because all the theory is also a reflection of real world practice that academicians do and put together in order to create standard learnings, and that is what is theory. So the case studies bring you very close to context where some things make sense and something don't, and it enjoins upon you guys to be prepared to have read the case and reflected upon in the in-class discussion, which will maximize your learnings. If you don't get into that habit and that practice, well, you'll have to question yourself, where would your money be well spent on rather than this program? It's not just for the fun you'd be joining here to spend that kind of a money, because there is more than the value that you are spending over here, but that value is going to be generated only by your commitment. Yes, next slide, please. So this is how it looks like. It may look a little bit because this is a standardized version of it, but imagine, okay, I'll give you a glimpse of, walking up the aisle, okay, getting greeted with a rose and a shawl, going over to receive with the galaxy of dean and professors around, standing around, taking a photograph, and then walking away. That experience is 100x more than what you see in front of you as just a certificate. The environment in which the sense of accomplishment with which you receive this, there will be obviously then you have to work harder to earn this, and so there will be an evaluation which will be at the discretion of faculty. Some people may administer quizzes, some people may give you assignments, some people may give you group working, case analysis. Some will plain and simple get you to contribute and discuss in the class, and that's how generally we make out of if you have attended all the classes, I'm sure even when you have not participated, which is at your peril, if you do not participate, but if you attended all the classes, I'm sure the wealth of perspectives that you get inside the class will itself be good enough to qualify you, and that you will be able to apply in various assignments and evaluation methods that are there. So the evaluation is more about not about the percentage or a grade, but generally if you put enough effort or not, that gives you a pass, because this is just a certificate course at the end of it. Yeah. So, but there are strict criteria for participation, contributions, and attendance as well. So attendance 75%. That's a prerequisite for the successful completion. If you have not been able to get through, like you're completely not involved in, and you've not even attended to the satisfaction of the attendance requirement, you will just get a participation certificate, so that at least that element of connectedness will be there. But I guess, I'm not expecting, even in my wildest dreams, that we would end up in just giving a participation certificate. There will be this certificate of completion and the full executive alumni status of IIM Kozhikode. Yes, please. These are the certificates coming from the Kellogg's fold, and obviously there'll be treasure to trove in your what do you call that? Wherever you want your certificates to show to yourself and remind to yourself. See, imagine that, for me, there are so many certificates that I might have earned in my 35 years of journey. Each certificate, more than the value of the paper or or the effort that I might have put into to earn that, it's a commitment from my side to uphold the learnings, the value of the learnings, and implement them in my work life. This is how we should be looking at certificates. It's a commitment to your career. It's a commitment to how you can translate the learnings from here at your workplace to generate more value for the organizations and for the country that you live in. Next, please. Something about Emeritus. Obviously, they're the guys, they're the teams that have been reaching out and working out individually with each one of you. They have been in here in this business as an edtech company for more than 12 years. They have partnerships with 55 plus universities across the world. The breadth of programs you can very well imagine, with 450 plus being there. The learners spread across 160 countries. Some of those faculty, leading faculty, feature us as well, and 2.5 million plus learners globally. So rest assured, you can believe, you can trust their capability to bring the right program to you. Next, please. Yeah, so all things have to come to that point where I tell you how to get in touch with us, and you already know about it, since all of you are part of this because you have followed this process. But you could email to iimk.execed, execed at emeritus.org. There's a WhatsApp number as well. You may want to note it down. And that's how you can get in touch, or that's how you can spread the word across if you feel that if your friends or your colleagues or somebody who was desperately looking for some such program, you can direct this information to them through these public digital numbers. Any questions that you have, we are open. Both me and Srijesh will be glad to answer them. If there are some questions that we will not answer, we'll direct them towards Emeritus. All right. Go ahead, please.
Yes, so I think there is already a question. No, I think that's been answered.
One question previously. So if I hope that's the way, because we have not yet thought about it, but I know of from other programs that making the names public is not something that we are allowed to. We are a public institution, but the participants themselves are going to go public. And as I have seen already, they are trickling in the LinkedIn, and in the coming days, 39 participants were there in the first cohort, and most of them would find their way. They were looking for digital means to share their certificates. So that has been done. So I'm sure a lot you will hear from them, read from there. Get in touch with them on LinkedIn, extend your friendship, and ask whatever question you want to them. They have not been tutored in any way by us. They will be independently answering your questions. Hi, Ayush. I'm part of batch 3. Do we need to introduce ourselves today, or would that be a separate meeting? Okay, Ayush, I think this was a question in the beginning itself, but
Yes.
welcome to the team, Ayush. If you're already registered for the program, this is a group of people who who are now may take action. Some of them might already be enrolled, and some others would be considering enrollment. So this is not a finally converted group of attendees that you have here. We will have a moment when we start the program. That is the day when we will all have a round of introduction with the actual participants.
So, Professor, we have our first question. Which aspects will be covered in the 3 days campus immersion? Will it be capstone project submission presentation, case studies presentation, or something else?
Yeah. So, in the entire run of this CPO program, we have various modules that you go through. It was a difficult choice to make that, which are some of the modules where a face-to-face interaction is going to be the best way to derive or maximize the learnings, even when if it is done individually or within groups. So we drew from different modules to put together a very power-packed 3 days, which will consist of fireside chat, leadership talk by none other than the director. At least director had that time, so we will also try to figure out and fit into his availability whenever we do the campus immersion. But he's a world-renowned figure in issues around leadership. The fireside chat, and then we will have a full run of a product business simulation, which runs for about 1.5 days. Then we have about 3 hours of a change management simulation. The leadership has to, of the day has to work around, and that's probably one of the skills of the 21st century, because the world is changing so fast. How do you manage a changing environment? There will be a simulation, as I explained to you a little earlier. You will be put in situations, and you learn it by doing it yourself through experience. Then there will be capstone presentation. The capstone presentation, final presentations will be during the days of immersion. But before that, you would have spent hours and hours of doing discussion and finalizing within your groups, and multiple points of interaction with the faculty mentor with whom you will be working on these projects. So the final presentations are there, and people were really excited about letting the cohort know about what they have done, and how they all of them did a lot of hard work to be able to bring those kind of learning. So to me, some of the, apart from what professor, our director, or apart from a fireside chat, or apart from running the business simulation, in fact, I look forward to some exciting. This year we had 9 groups. Okay, the 9 groups presented 9 business ideas, well thought out, in-depth researched, and looked at since it's a group exercise, it looked at in depth from all perspectives and all. So they are kind of live case studies, and you will. We have at IMK an opportunity for publishing such information through a case study or a research paper if you've done enough in-depth exercise, and those are likely to be published with our partnership with Harvard Business Publishing. It's a great opportunity of your lifetime to be able to publish something at Harvard through this program. So this is the entire bouquet of the 3-day activity. You will never have a dull moment, and your evenings will also be occupied, to tell you clearly. If you will have to you'll have to de-addict yourself with, by towards the end of the program, will want to do more and more of it, but there'll always be and there will always be a time frame within which things have to be done and achieved.
Professor, another question related to the campus immersion. Are the campus immersion dates fixed, or they usually happen at the end of the batch?
As I said, when I clarified that, there are certain dates, certain time periods that we have to avoid, because that's a huge rush for programs. So we would want you to have a relaxed environment and not a very rushed environment. Two, we have to look at the key dates of the key participants. Let's say the director, the fireside chat person, the dean's availability. If they are not outside, out of India to work around that period, we have to work with their timelines in order to find but for sure it is, we explored two options. One is in the middle of the entire engagement, and one is towards the end. We give that as a matter of choice, to you guys, but with two groups we have seen that the general perception is towards the end of it, so I will not go deeper into that. But the dates are not yet fixed, but they are going to be in a certain month, which should be around, if we start in December, that should be around November and December of the next year. But the exact dates are not fixed. That is dependent on the availability of accommodation, of other programs, about the key personnel who should be there from the organization side, there at the campus for the immersion. So it is dependent on many of these constraints. We are talking about an year away from now, and that is why the month may be more or less fixed around November, December, but the dates will be flexible. But once the dates are fixed, you will get to know about that at least 4 or 5 months in advance, for you to be able to fix up your journey and schedules.
Right.
Any other question, Ayush?
No, Professor, I think we have covered everything. Then I think we should just say thanks everyone for joining and listening into us. And I really want to thank you, both the professors, Professor Kamal and Professor Srijesh, for taking out this time out of their hectic schedules, right? I know Professor Srijesh have a class right after this as well. So thank you so much, professors, for taking out time and guiding us for the program.
Thank you
Thank you
very
so
much, all the attendees. You would like to know more, if you have any further Q&A, you can direct it them to Emeritus, and they'll be glad to get in touch with us to get answers, whatever you think you deserve. And we look forward to most of you joining the program. I think there's a lot of value there. That's all I would say. Rather than hard sell, I would say there's a lot of value there.
Correct, Professor. And we have personally seen that value deliver by the first batch of the program. So that's a proof of the testament, basically. Perfect.
Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, Professor Srijesh. Thanks.
Thank you, Professor Kamal. Thank you so much.